We are now awaiting a decision any day, any moment from the D.C. Court of Appeals on whether Donald Trump is immune, as he claims, from criminal charges for attempting to overturn the election. In yesterday's hearing on this, the three judges in the panel certainly seemed skeptical. Conservative attorney George Conway, who was in that courtroom, points out that Trump's lawyers had a difficult case to begin with because their position is clearly not correct under either precedent or the Constitution. But in making the arguments they had, they also fell into a trap. It happened when one judge, Florence Pan, pressed Trump's lawyers on the implications of his argument.
Could a president who ordered SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival who was not impeached, would he be subject to criminal prosecution?
If he were impeached and convicted first.
In response to that moment, Conway writes, quote, "The damage was done, and Pan's point was devastatingly made. On the one hand, Trump's lawyer argued the Constitution gave the president absolute immunity for his official acts. On the other hand, if the United States Congress effectively gives permission by impeaching and convicting, well, then, yes, a president can be prosecuted, and wait for it, he's not absolutely immune." George Conway joins me now. He's a contributing writer for The Atlantic. So I found your argument here interesting, and it was not the way, it didn't dawn on me in the same way that it did to you, that moment. And I want you to explain why that, and Judge Pan was very focused on it. She kept coming at it again and again and again. Why that moment was so important for Trump's argument sort of collapsing.
Well, there are a couple of reasons for that. I mean, first of all, Judge Pan was trying to do two things as I see it. One was she was trying to elicit a concession from Trump's counsel that his position was extreme. And at the same time, when Trump's counsel resisted saying that, yes, a president is absolutely immune for sending in SEAL Team 6, she then sort of went to the underbelly of the argument that he was making as to why it wasn't always the case, which was this argument based upon the secondary provision that Trump relies on, which is the impeachment judgment clause, which says that you can prosecute somebody criminally after you impeach and remove them through Congress. And her point really was that there was a tension between those two positions. In addition to the fact that the position he was taking was extreme under one clause, the second clause, the second provision, which is the impeachment judgment provision, basically undercuts the absolute immunity claim because it makes clear that office holders, and it doesn't exclude the president, can be prosecuted after being removed from office. And so she kept drilling on that, and then she makes the point that, okay, well, if you're saying that he can be prosecuted under some circumstances when Congress does impeach and convict and remove a president, you're not saying he's absolutely immune. And so that's the reason why his Trump's position collapsed. Not only was it extreme, but it was at war with itself.
Right.
And when you get that and the other thing that made it worse for Trump's lawyer is when you're going to have to make a concession to a judge who is very smart and is not going to let things go, you make the concession.
Right.
You say, yes, because it is their position that a president who's not impeached and removed can get away with anything. Correct. It has to be their position because there's not much worse other than perhaps sending SEAL Team 6 to the Capitol than what he did. So sometimes you just have to accept the fact that your position is out there because it's the only one you can take. Now, it's a loser, to be sure, but you do not make a weak argument stronger by blending it with an even weaker one. That is appellate advocacy 101. In addition to, answer the questions.
So that's such an interesting and I think really important point. I just want to stay with it for a second because I think it's key. Yeah. I mean, the opening bid, from Trump's lawyers is he is absolutely immune for official acts at the outer perimeter of his official duties. And that means anything from sending SEAL Team 6, as Jack Smith's office, I think, smartly sort of raised, to selling pardons. These are clearly, we would say, criminal enterprises, but they intermix with the official acts. And what you're saying is what they realized, I think, is that was too extreme and they needed a fallback. So they've concocted this sort of, fakakta kind of.
Fakakta is a good word.
Fakakta Rube
Michigan would be a
Goldberg
good word too.
construction, which is like this weird impeachment thing, and you're saying by constructing the fallback so that you're not making the extreme argument, you're also undercutting the clarity of the argument itself.
That's exactly right. And it goes even beyond the fact that the impeachment judgment clause is inconsistent with absolute presidential criminal immunity. The rationales that he was presenting were inconsistent. His rationale that he kept repeating to the panel, Sauer, Trump's lawyer, he kept saying the reason why we have to have absolute criminal immunity is because of the specter that some other president, his client actually, might go and start prosecuting, engaging in political prosecutions to punish his enemies. Okay, well that's not a crazy argument. We don't want political prosecutions of politicians for simply doing their jobs. On the other hand, the argument that he said that, well, you can prosecute a president when the Congress of the United States says you can. And excuse me, that's the most political spot in the universe right there.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
So
his argument made no sense on many levels. Yeah.
That is a really, really excellent point. I was
and thank you for the backdrop. It really helped.
Yeah, that's it. Well, we do what we can. George Conway, who was in that room, who himself has been around the D.C. circuit and argued in that venue. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Bye-bye.